Hey, what's up guys and gals? It's me, your old buddy Mr. Moose, back with another edition of Transport Fever. And this is episode 4 of our free play, where we are working on a US map. And let's see, when we last left off, it was 1879. We had just added an additional passenger line up to Irving, and we took all of the old locomotives off of the track and replace those with the newer Baldwin class, which we've got 2 trains running on this rail right now, and we're doing okay. We also doubled up our cargo line here and added a second train to it. We established a cargo line into San Jose, so that's what we did the last time, and we're in pretty good shape. You may remember I was right up against the ceiling at a $10 million banknote, and I've actually managed to repay about 4.5 million of that down. So we're only carrying 5.5 million right now, which is a good thing. I could repay a little bit of it right there, and now we're only at 5 million. But of course, it's a new episode, and I'm gonna spend more money and make more expenses. So that will come right back up here just shortly. When we last left off, I also talked about my commuter lines, needing to fix them, and that's one of the things we're going to start with today. If I click on this guy right here and expand out my Thousand Oaks commuter line, you're going to see that the path of it makes a cross right in front of Thousand Oaks Exchange right here, right? So the problem with that is when the age of the automobile comes in and traffic starts to pick up on the roadways, this area will get congested and we'll start having problems here. And someone rightly pointed that out to me, that I had made a mistake, and they are correct. Normally I would put my bus stations like right next to the train stations so that I don't have to worry about any of this stuff, and I run everything counterclockwise. When I put them on the inside this time, I didn't think about that, and I just went with a counterclockwise motion like I always do, and I gave myself that cross there, and again, that will cause some headaches down the road. So we're going to go ahead and rectify that today. To do so, I'm going to have to add in a couple of bus stops. So I'm going to come over here, and right where my pre-existing bus stops are, I'm going to add a new one in right across the street from it. And that will solve all of our problems to a point. Now I'm gonna leave the pre-existing bus stop there because I just don't feel like deleting it, and because that's just more expenditures I gotta do. Plus I might use them down the road. I might decide to do a reverse route to a different bus station down here, so it all depends on what happens there. So for now, I'm going to leave them on. Now, but to fix this bus route, I have to come to Thousand Oaks Exchange, which is the first stop, highlight it, add station, and then I'm going to go back clockwise, re-add all the stops in. So Pine, Lee, and Valley. And then I'll come down here to the bottom and just delete the original 3. And there, now my whole route is fixed. I have no crossover here. They'll come out, make a right-hand turn, go all the way around, make a right-hand turn coming in, and there's no chance for any kind of head-ons or any of that stuff. So that one is fixed, and we'll come up here and we'll do the exact same thing up in Oklahoma City, so we don't have this issue here either, because it will become a headache down the road if we don't nip it in the bud right now. So we'll do the same thing. I'll come in here, add bus stops in at 14th Street and one at 3rd. And then I'm going to create a new bus stop over here just because we don't have coverage over in this area. I'm going to create a section there, and then I'll come in here and do the same thing. Select Lower Oklahoma City, which is our bus stop. Come in a clockwise manner, put in my stops, and then delete the old ones out, and this whole little nightmare will be finished. Voila, there, that is done. Nice. All right, so we don't have to worry about that anymore. That is good. The next thing I need to do is I actually need to fix my commuter lines. One more thing. Let's open this up. All my commuter lines need to be replaced. All my commuters. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to replace them in bulk. I'm not going to do the replacement feature on this. I'm going to send them all to the depot and sell them off. I'm not going to worry about the passengers that are on them right now, but I'm going to get rid of all of them. So Oklahoma, I'm going to send all to the depot to be sold off. And I'm going to buy 6 new stagecoaches. 1, 2, let's see, that's 4, 5. Let's go with 5 to begin with. And I'll set all those on my Oklahoma commuter line. And then I'm going to do the same thing with Thousand Oaks. It's 1883. I don't get another vehicle until about 1900 when we get the Mac bus in. So I'm going to go ahead and put stagecoaches on all the lines. They're a little bit faster. They haul a little bit more people. So this should be good for us. And I want to turn off that replenish. No, I don't want to do that. And I want to turn it off on this line as well. No, I don't want that happening anymore. And I want to go ahead and on Thousand Oaks commuter line, how many did we have on here? We had 6, 9 on here. I'm going to cut that down to about 6. So sell all those off. And come here. Buy. One, 2, 3, 4, 6. And I'll start with these because they hold more passengers. They move faster. I might not need as many of them. So that's the reason I'm not putting as many back on the line as I had before. And we'll just see how that goes. We lost some passengers, but that's all right. All right, so with that done, the next thing that we're going to work on today is expanding this passenger line. Now, there's one more little thing I do want to maybe pay attention to in this episode, but my priority right now is that passenger line, is improving it. But I've got trucks sitting around not doing anything. This line is still profitable and it's still working, but this guy's not producing enough. He's stuck around 150. In order for me to get him to push further ahead, I've got to drive more stone in there, either more frequently or with more trains. And I can either buy a new train or I can upgrade the locomotives on these. Now, this particular locomotive here, I think only has about, it's 19 years. It only has about 10 more years on it. Instead of buying another train right now, I think what I want to do is hold off just a little bit longer. And then when this thing is, 25 years, go ahead and replace it with a faster train and go that direction. In the meantime, spend my money trying to get up to Kansas City. So that's what I'm going to do first on this episode today. Now, this is going to be fun because we have to jump the water. And then we have an elevation climb to get up here to Kansas City. So that's going to be a challenge as well. But we'll start at the water, because one thing I've learned in train fever as well as in transport fever is to get over water. Sometimes it's best to build your bridge first and then bring the line to it. A lot of people will bring the rail over and then start from wherever the rail is and try to get to it. And sometimes that presents some issues for you. So I'm going to actually go a different direction. I know I want to bring my rail around and catch this ridge and then run the ridge down this way so I can get a gradual slope down in elevation change. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to build a starter piece right about here. And I'm going to take that elevation and make that level so I don't have any issues with the elevation change on it. Maybe bring that a little bit more forward. Did I turn that? What a moron. What a maroon. start angling that down a little bit towards the water, maybe. I don't want snap on. Turn snap off. Alright, now let's see if we can make a turn and get over the water without too much of an issue here. I might have a little bit of an issue here. Raise, raise, raise. That is not going to raise up. So that's not going to work. Let's get rid of a little bit of this track. And we'll try this again. Oh, come on, terrain. I don't want to hear about your terrain crap. And I don't want any snap. Just want you to get across the water. Race, 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 race. Still not getting over the water. Alright, get rid of a little bit more track. And we'll start back there with it this time. Oh, this is looking promising. Looking promising. But with the serpentine stuff. And we are up over the water. We do have a path for ships to go through there. What if we make this level? What if we bring that up? No. No. Yes. See, now that's not too bad. It's not terrible. And it's economical. I mean, that's the biggest thing. I want it to be somewhat affordable. I could actually stomach that. It's not the greatest piece of work I've ever done, but could work. It would give us shipping. Of course, we got to demolish this bridge at some point. It's going to be a little bit of a roller coaster ride. What if we went a little bit further across here? No. To there it is. Now, if we up that bridge, that's max height on it. If we make it into steel, it's going to cost us $1.7 million. I'm going to take it. That'll give us plenty of speed. It'll get us across there. Now, the next thing I do, I don't like this leg kicking over this direction. I'm going to destroy all of the existing track up to the bridge without destroying the bridge. And then I will build back to the bridge. I mean, my big thing is I just want to establish the bridge. Then I'll build back to it using the terrain around it to be somewhat as level as possible to get my track in there. So, which also means I'm going to take out all this track that I put in place to keep the AI from building. And then I'm going to relay this out of here. And I'm going to try to keep this as level as possible. There we go. That was nice. Alright, so now we're going to start climbing this hill. Ooh, got a ship. The Mogul. That came in perfect timing because we are going to need that. And we're just going to start climbing this hill. I don't want it to be a nightmare climb though, so I'm going to pull this down just a wee bit. I might even just go level there. I'm not going to dig in too bad right there. It's going to cost me a little bit of money, but it'll make life a bit simpler as we try to get back to that train there. Yeah, that'll work. It's going to gouge in just a wee bit, but again, what I'm looking for is flat, carry as much speed, because we're gonna get bogged down going up to Kansas City, because that area is going to be let's bring this back a little bit. Let's bring this back to here. All right, and then I'm gonna run this all the way over to here. Tag that in like so. How does that look? Not terrible bad. There's gonna be a lot of backfill in there, and it's gonna cost me 285K to get it done, which is fine. That'll be a nice level track though. That'll work really good for us. And then we'll come on this side. And now coming down from Kansas City is going to be the fun part. So let's go up here to the city. And we'll go ahead and turn on our demographics so we can see what's going on in this town. Our residential is all over here, so we want to try to build on this side of the town to capture as most of this as possible. See how much of this road I can destroy. All of it. Let's take out a loan so we can actually do some work. I didn't need to take out a loan. I actually got a little bit of money came in. All right, so let's see if we can put just a smidgen of a road in here. Something about like that. And then connect over to there, like so. Then put our train station, which we're gonna go. I'm gonna do 4 tracks here, and I'm gonna do a connecting street because I have a feeling this is gonna have a lot of track in it eventually. So. And we'll place that right about in here. That's going to catch most all of our residential area. Let's set that up to where it's sort of parallel to that. I shouldn't have any problem getting the torrents from here, as well as get back down to the bridge. All right, go ahead and take out a loan real quick so we can get this construction underway, because I'm just impatient. All right, that may work. That's where we're going. All right, so with that little bit added, with that road added in, I can now destroy that little piece, and I can start getting some rail out of here, carrying it out level to begin with so that we can have our tracks level next to each other. Sweet. Now I'm not going to double this up in the beginning. I'm just going to have it be single line to begin with, and then once we establish the line, then I'll double the track up. But there's no need in building 2 bridges and all that other stuff for right now. So all right, so I'm gonna try to make these runs as long as possible so they're as smooth as possible, going down through here. So I'll catch that run there, and then I'll probably make this run all the way to the bridge. And it's gonna, like I said, it's gonna cost a little bit, but the object is to have this as smooth of a transition as possible. It is going uphill, so that's gonna be a lot that we're gonna have to deal with. I do not like that because that's gonna put a hump in my... Does that make that roller coaster up and down? It doesn't look too bad. It does make it go up just a little bit right there and then sway back down. It's gonna have to do. It's not terrible. Not terrible at all. It actually brought the road up more than it brought the train up. What did it do up here? It humped it a little bit right here. Why it does that? It just drives me nuts. All right, but we're connected. We got everything connected up, and we're only $5.5 million in debt. Nice. So there's one more little thing that we're gonna have to do to make this really work. I can run this off of one. You know what? I'm gonna run this off of one platform right now. It's not gonna be an issue. All I gotta do is put a signal right here, and I can run this off of one platform for now. And that's what we will do. All right, so time to build a train. And we're gonna build an expensive train. So let's buy a little bit of love from the bank. And let's pause so that nobody spends my money that I borrowed from the bank. Come on, game, save, finish up so I can actually do something. All right, so the train we're gonna build, we just got the Mogul. I could use the Baldwin, and its top speed is 37 miles an hour, but our train track that we just laid, we can go 75 on it, which means we could use the Mogul, which is what we just got. It's a little bit more expensive, but I'd like to cover this distance as fast as we can. Plus, going uphill, I want as much horsepower on the train as possible. This one's only got 386. This one's got 544. This one's 80 kilonewtons of attractive. This is 70. I think this one will be a better train for this run. So we'll go ahead and grab it. And then for the passengers on it, because I want as much, again, because I'm using a train that can effectively go 47 miles an hour, I want to have a car that can do that as well. This one can only go 31, so it would be hindered by its speed. So I want to go with the Clear Story because it can actually carry more speed. So we'll put two. Let's put two to begin with, and then we can come in and add another one on it down the line. So that's 32 passengers. As soon as we get that, we'll be all right. And then we'll bring it back in, and we'll add another couple of passenger units onto it when we need it. So that works for me. And we'll repay all that money that we didn't use back. We'll set the line for it. We'll create a new line, which is going to come from here all the way back up to Kansas City. And there we go. And we'll label this. Getting rid of that. This is going to be KC. And we're going to be going to T Oak. And that is set and ready to roll. So we'll let it come on out. And let's see what we can do about making some money on this line. It should be a pretty cool little run. So let's grab this and we'll jump on board and ride with it for a little bit. Actually, before we do that, let's slow down. I don't want to go that fast on it. So let's enjoy the view and see how it looks. It should be a decent little run. And this train should be able to put up a pretty good head of steam for this track. It should be pretty nice. So we're at 34, 35. We're on level track. This thing should start gaining speed. $45 miles an hour. 47, we're at max speed on it. And then we got to climb this hill. And like I said, it's going to die off, but using the bigger train, it won't die off nearly as much as any of the other ones would have. Now we're starting to lose momentum. but it looks like we're going to carry the hill pretty well. Now we only have 2 cars on here, but still carrying a pretty good speed up it. If we had 2 more cars, we'll probably drop down into the 20s. It's not going to be a terrible run though. So it maintained 30s up through there and then leveled off. That little hump drives me nuts. Alright, so we come into the station and the real question is anybody waiting? Oh, I see one person. We have 1 passenger ready to go to Thousand Oaks. 1 daring soul has jumped on board our killer little train. Let's take a look at this guy. That is a cool looking train. Nice. Nice looking train. So now we make the downhill leg. And we should carry plenty of speed on that. Yeah, it's 47 on the downhill. Keep hitting the wrong buttons. Alright, here comes our bridge. So on the downhill, it should be able to keep maximum max speed pretty much the whole time on the down leg. Yeah, this would be a pretty good run. So we'll let it run with 2 cars on it up until it starts to fill up, and then when it starts to fill up, when we see the demand to increase, then we will. We got anybody? 3 passengers. So the reason for not putting 4 cars on it right now is just for maintenance cost. It won't cost me as much to operate it with only 2 cars on it as it would if I slapped 4 cars on it. So I'll just go ahead and do that for now, and then when it builds up enough interest, I'll go ahead and throw the additional 2 cars on there. Alright, so we did pretty good, and we're not completely blowing the budget. We got all that done for about $2 million of debt. Wow, it's much better than I thought we would end up. I thought the bridge alone would break us, but yeah, we're in pretty good shape now. Let's catch a view of this guy coming out the tunnel. Choo choo. Nice. All right, so we'll give that a chance to start earning a little bit. 737,000. Let's repay a little bit of our debt. Back down to 6.5. Making progress. Making progress. All right. We've updated our carriages. Our trains are running. We're doing good. We could possibly put a 3rd train on this line and start making a little bit more money off of that line. That's a possibility. Like, how can I spend the money I don't have? 1887. It would be great to get out of debt by the time we get into the 1900s, because then we're going to incur a bunch of debt with airplanes and things of that nature, and it would be really nice to be out of debt. Where are you at? This is train 5. It is not the older of the 2. So it's 16 years. This guy should be about replacement age. 22 years. Let's look at the finances on it. It's still making more than it's, well, actually last year it lost money. $1886 it actually lost money, so it's probably time to get rid of it. Why it lost money, I don't know. It doesn't really make sense that its operating expenses and its income would have gotten that far out of whack. So yeah. It seems like it goes in a cycle. It makes money 2 years in a row and then it drops down drastically, and then it goes 2 years, drops down. It's how many loads it runs in a year is what it is. Road vehicle 29 has reached its life expectancy. I knew that moment was coming too. Alright, slow some things down here. Actually, let's pause some things real quick. All of these road vehicles are going to have to be upgraded. That's each line. San Jose, Thousand Oaks, Oklahoma City, because all of them were put in at the exact same time, which means they've all got to be upgraded. What is the life expectancy on these? Let's see. The American Road Horse is 15 years. 1887. I forget when we get the steam lorry in. I think it's in 1890, something like that. I don't think I can hold off though, so let's just go ahead and upgrade all of these and replace them. So let's go ahead and set the line for the horses, and we will go ahead and replace all of them and get those going. And I'll go ahead and watch. Well, I won't know when they're all replaced. I'll just let them replace. And I'll do the same thing with all the other lines. I'll just let those replace for the time being. So let's do all the freight. All the freights will get replaced. So let's replace this freight at 100%. Make sure I did the other one right. Sort vehicles. Make sure that we're on that one at 100%. We'll turn that to yes. And then we'll go Oakland Freight, replace, set vehicle, set that 100% yes. Oh, a lot of them are going to pop over immediately. And then San Jose Freight, let me verify that I've said replacement at 100%, not 25%. All right, that's good. All right, let's go ahead and play. Let our train come in. And we're going to go ahead and do something about this train. Go ahead and let everything offload and then depot. Alright. So we're going to depot this train, sell it, and then we'll buy a new one. And we'll put a faster locomotive on the front of it. Hopefully that will get us some stone there faster, and that'll be the solution to our issue here. Which means we're going to have to borrow some more money again. Quite a bit of money. This train will cost a bit to replace. It's like about a $3 million train to replace it. And good. Alright, so let's go ahead and sell it off. And we got $1 million for it. So let's buy our train. I'm not going to use the mogul. It's just too fast and too much expense. I'm going to use the Baldwins. And then we'll go 1, 2, 3, 4. 3 is what we got out of it before we have to borrow money. Pause the game. I don't want people spending the money that I'm borrowing for a train. Right? So 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Gotta borrow a little bit more money to get 6 on there. Yeah, like I said, it's an expensive train. But we can go ahead and put that back on the line. And go. Alright, hopefully that thing will run circles around the other one. And the increased speed should help out with productivity. How much debt do we have now? 9 million. Ugh. How old are you? 16 years. Pause. I'm gonna run this one more run. I'm gonna run this one run, and then I think what I'm gonna do is bring it in and replace the locomotive on it only, and not replace the cars. Because I got an idea, if I don't replace the locomotive on it to be able to keep it going, this one's gonna run right up its tail. But I'd like to get a little income coming in so it doesn't cost as much debt to do it. Look at that thing fly. That's nice. That's the dilemma, you know, because your cars age just like your train does. And the dilemma is, do I slap a new locomotive on the front of it and just get it going, or do I slap a whole new, do I build out the whole new train so all of it's on the same lifespan? But I think I can get away with another 10 years on those cars and go with that direction. Why is he waiting on a free path? What train is waiting? Oh, that's my Oklahoma City train. I gotcha. I mean, my Kansas City train. Wow, look how fast he gets up there. What is this doing to production now? It was out of stone, though. That's the thing. You want to try to get these runs going. I mean, I've said this before. Frequency of delivery pushes production and will increase demand, right? So I can haul plenty. It's just not putting enough stuff out here right now. So what I need to do is I need to keep the stone coming in here fast enough so that it's never running out of stone, and I'm not doing that right now. If I could do that, then I would be in a good position, because like I'm getting it up to about 184 production per year, but as soon as it runs out of stone, that number drops, and it drops really fast, much faster than it goes up. So if you can keep the stone coming in to a point where that number doesn't fall down, you'll keep pushing that number up and up and up, and you'll making this force itself to grow so it can keep up with the production. And right now I'm just not doing that. I'm letting the production fall way too low. And the thing is the more stone you bring in, the faster it uses it as well. So let's see. That's got 24. Wow, look, that train is just eating this one alive. This one's got to go to the depot. It's just eating it up. So I will not upgrade the cars. I'm just going to upgrade the train itself. Or the engine. Yeah, it's got to go in. All right, I want to slow this down. One of the things I've started doing too, somebody brought this to my attention. I never thought about this. I've always just, as soon as it comes in, you get paid for it, I've always gone ahead and hit the button and sent it to depot. But someone is pointing out to me that if you don't let the product unload, or you don't let the passengers unload, if you click the button too soon, you lose all that product going up here to be hauled away, or passengers going to get on the buses and haul away. So they were saying that it was best to let that number spool on down to 0, and even if you let a little bit of stone get on the train, it's better to lose a little bit than lose the entire service that you just did. So makes sense. All right, so we got what, 93K for that or something, and we're gonna go ahead and buy a new locomotive for it. So we'll buy the Baldwin, and then we will send that one right back out onto the line after the autosave kicks in. All right, and these two should be on the same speed cycle now. Again, the train's going to be a lot older than the engine, but I need that to... It still shows me that the train is 18 years old, even though I just put a brand new engine on it. It's going to show you the oldest part of the train as far as the longevity of it. Alright, now what are we doing here? 122, but we skipped a delivery. So let's see what happens once we start having both of these two come in here at a fast pace. And the biggest thing is, let's watch the storage of stone. If we're getting deposits made before it can use its previous deposit, then we're going to be able to push the production numbers up. So 122 is where we're at right now. Come on, other train. It's just now. $134, 136. Come on. Still not fast enough. We're definitely going to have to put another train on here. But it's a lot faster than it was. So we got up to 168. And he's going to drop off. That number didn't go down. It went up. So that's good. We're going to be able to kick this up over 200 production now. And that means this is going to upgrade to 400. It's going to upgrade the stone quarry, which means we're going to get more and more production done. And that's good, because that's going to fuel more stuff going to this dock, clear it out. Let's see, we got 12 stone, 10 stone. Here comes the train. This is good news. This is good news. So increasing the speed so we can get more frequent deliveries is gonna pay off. 190. Come on, get up over 200. Come on, get up over 200. I need to repay all this debt. Down to 7 million. That's good. I know I'm running a little bit fast. I shouldn't run this fast, but I just want to see what this is going to do as far as keeping the stone rolling in here. And this is the only way I can do it. Alright, so it gets right down to 0. This guy makes a dump off. It went from 190 to 182, so the numbers fell a little bit. I don't think I can get to 200 with this setup. It's going to be tight to try to get it to make it. It may take a third train to get us up over 200. Oh, upgrade scheduled in 1 month. So the plant is saying, okay, we probably need to do something here, which is good. We wanted to do that. 3, 2, 1, 0. There's the upgrade. See how fast that number falls down though? Oh, there's 200. Sweet. Look at how much faster it starts using product though now. I mean, it starts going through stone way faster once it does the upgrade. So now we have to do something to continue to keep up with it. Otherwise, we're going to be sitting here and that number is going to fall drastically. So watch it fall off. It's going to get below 200, back down to about 190. It's going to get even lower than that. So we definitely need to up our stone deliveries, which is going to mean that we're going to need another train. There's just no doubt about it. But this is good news. We are we've cleared out this bottleneck here, which means that's more deliveries being made, less loss. We don't have any trucks waiting here. We don't have any trucks waiting here. Problem is solved for now. We do have a little bit of surplus sitting on the dock, 28. But that's okay. That'll probably get picked up by the train and hauled off, so that's fine. How are we doing? 36 of 42, so he's not producing enough to fill the train up yet. Good news. Now, if we add a third train on, the production that will spur will require us to find somewhere else to put materials, because it's going to put enough materials in there and coming out that we'll get overloaded. So I'll have to think about that, but that little upgrade helped out tremendously and is a temporary solution. Obviously, we're going to have to I'm going to turn the speed down a little bit. Obviously, we're going to have to do something about this other train and upgrade it, because it's certainly going to need it. Seeing as it's listing it as 19 years old, but we can live with it now. When it gets up to 25, we'll go ahead and replace everything on it. All right, look back at our Kansas City leg. It is doing good. 31 of 32 people are on board, and we are headed up to Kansas City. How many people do we have sitting up here waiting? 57 people are waiting. When this comes back down, we'll definitely go to Depot and put 2 more cars on it. And we're going to repay a little bit more debt. Oh, we're down to 5 million in debt. Could we possibly get completely debt-free by the year 1900? It is possible. That would be good news, because a lot of debt will be incurred once we get into 1900s. Trains are going to get it more expensive. We're going to have airplanes. We're going to have all kinds of good stuff. But once we have this passenger line established good and running the way that it needs to run, we'll be in a situation where, look, there's more money coming in. Repay debt. Goodbye. With all this established and we get good income coming off the passenger lines consistently, which we do, that's going to help be able to afford us to start venturing into more cargo. I'm doing a little bit of cargo right now just as a way to subsidize the income, but once we have a good passenger line established and we're making really good money off of it, then we'll dive harder and harder into cargo. We'll establish some shipping, because like I said, I want to get over here and activate these oil fields, put some oil down here shipping wise, which means we've got to rebuild this bridge. That's going to be expensive. So all these expenses that we'll incur with doing such will be offset by the passenger line making money. So that's the reason I'm focused so much on getting the passenger line built up, so that we can go play with the other side of the game, which is the shipping and the airports. shipping in the airports to me aren't nearly as much fun as the trains, because the trains, you've actually got to establish the line. You've got to look at the contours. You've got to really focus in on things like that. You don't have to do that as much with the ships. You just kind of make sure that products come into the ship and then go from there. All right, unload the passengers and go to depot. Come on out. So this is where I need to have this depot wrapped around now. All right, so let's come into here. Buy a new train. Buy 2 of these. Oh, take out a little bit of a loan that we just paid back. Take out a little bit more of a loan that we just paid back. There we go. And then we'll put that back out on its line. Oh, it's got one too many trains on it. I don't need 5, I only need 4. All right, so we are going to KC. Open that out. And then repay that money that I didn't need to borrow. All right, get that back out on the line. And it can pick up all the passengers that it left behind. It's only got 18 to pick up, but still. All right. All right. There we go. Off and running. So let's look at where we're at now. We've established Kansas City. We fixed this little problem that we have, and we've actually repaid off even more debt. We're now only $4.5 million in debt, whereas we started off $5 million in debt. So I like that. I like that we are whittling away finally at this debt and getting it down. We're a far cry from where we were in '79. It's 1891. And things are really about to explode, because the automobile will come in and that will change everything. But yeah, so where do we go from here? At this point, with Kansas City established, I'm thinking, gosh, I don't know. I'll have to look at it, but I'm thinking I want to maybe get a line up to Antioch. I wouldn't mind trying to figure out how to get San Jose tied in to the whole system. I don't know if it's San Jose running this way and tying into Thousand Oaks, or if it's running San Jose up to Oklahoma City, tying into Oklahoma City and then coming across. I'm not really sure which way is the best way to run with that. I'll look at it and figure it out. It's the last city over here that we need to do something about, obviously. And with it being one of the biggest cities on the map, it needs to get tied in at some point. So that's something I've got to look into and figure out. And probably something we need to look at the next thing. I mean, I could throw a shipping platform down here and just ship people over, but the problem with ships is I got to have buses that go down here to get the ship down here, and then, you know, with the infrequency of the ships, you don't have enough constant people to keep your carriages busy, and then you end up losing money because they're just sitting there not doing anything. So I'm thinking the ship is not the solution. The ship for me is going to be freight, because the ship for me is, I want to get a down here around Dayton or somewhere. I want to get a freight platform in right about in here, that a freight train is running up here and pulling oil from here and coming down into here. I mean, we can even run it all the way up into here, because you've got all these facilities up here that can process stuff. So bringing a freight train up, hitting this area here, and then getting oil from here to here and down to here as well. is going to be the trick to it. So that's what I'm going to work on probably here in the near future. But San Jose will be the next thing we work on. But anyways, that's going to do it for today. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Look at there. We can repay some more debt. Down to $3.5 million. If I just let this run and don't worry about it for, you know, just do the maintenance that's going to come up as far as trains and everything else like that. If I just follow that for a little bit longer, maybe another year, year and a half, I can repay all my debt down and be debt free by the 1900s. And I think that's going to be my goal, is to get debt free so that as we move forward, I'm not carrying the interest payments. Look, there's another payment. I mean, we could almost get debt free by the end of this episode, which is awesome. How are we doing over here? 208. Not bad. So yeah, anyways, hope you liked the episode. If you did, make sure you give it a thumbs up, smack that like button a couple of times, share the video with your friends, and if you haven't subscribed yet, please consider doing so. I try to do new videos each day. I did take a week off for Thanksgiving, but we're back and we'll continue to go with it. We'll do some live streams in the evenings, and you know, come on back tomorrow for another episode. Thanks for watching, guys. Until the next time, stay safe, have yourself a wonderful day, and God bless. Bye bye.